Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea transfer latest, new offer made, Benfica's stance, Liverpool interest. Chelsea transfer news, Benfica midfielder Enzo Fernandez has been heavily linked with a January transfer to Graham Potter's side. Chelsea's pursuit of Benfica midfielder Enzo Fernandez has been one of the biggest talking points of the January transfer window. The Blues have been heavily linked with Fernandez all month, although a deal has proved extremely difficult for owner Todd Boehly, who has already added 6 new signings during the winter window. Noni Madueke, David Datro Fofana, Mykhailo Mudryk, Benoit Badiashile, Andre Santos and João Felix have arrived at Stamford Bridge in recent weeks, but Graham Potter's side is still light in midfield. Jorginho and N'Golo Kante are both out of contract at the end of the current campaign, and the latter hasn't played due to injury since August, making Fernandez the perfect target for the West London club. With that being said, we bring you up to speed with the latest on the Argentine's potential move to Stamford Bridge. Schmidt admission. Benfica manager Roger Schmidt has admitted that he believes Fernandez will remain with the Portuguese giants this month, although Chelsea may return with another proposal for the talented youngster in the coming days. Speaking on Wednesday, Schmidt said, "Yes, of course, I'm confident Enzo stays. I think when you see Enzo playing at the moment for Benfica, I see a player who is on his top level, who is very happy to play for the club, and I think there is nothing else in the mindset of the player. I don't expect that we lose any of our players who are playing a lot and who is in the starting 11. That's why I see very focused players, and that's why I expect that he stays." UEFA deadline. Chelsea may have been handed a new incentive to sign Enzo Fernandez this month, as UEFA have decided to put a cap on contract length of up to 5 years, reports The Times. The Blues have been routinely offering larger length deals to help spread the cost of large transfer fees since the new ownership took charge. This decision won't take place until the summer, meaning the club have plenty of reason to make a move for Fernandez while the loophole still exists and the cost can be spread. Fresh raid. Reports from Portuguese outlet Record have claimed Chelsea is preparing a new raid for the Benfica man before the end of the January window. However, like earlier this month, Benfica is not likely to budge on their stance on the midfielder, meaning an additional £105 million will have to be spent. Offer prepared. Chelsea is expected to approach Benfica with another proposal for Enzo Fernandez before the transfer window closes. The Blues made the Argentine midfielder a priority target before the January transfer window opened and held several rounds of talks with Benfica over a deal. However, the Portuguese side stood firm on their £105 million valuation, a figure Chelsea was ultimately not prepared to meet. Caicedo preference. After seeing their opening bid of £55 million for Brighton's Moses Caicedo rejected last week, Chelsea is said to be considering an improved offer in the region of £65 million. Caicedo has been identified as an alternative to Fernandez this month and possesses experience in the Premier League with his impressive displays for the Seagulls. However, similar to Fernandez, there's plenty to do in completing the deal. Swap deal. Benfica has maintained from the start that Fernandez's £106 million release clause is met for a transfer to be completed. Chelsea has remained reluctant to do that, although they have offered installments in an offer for the Argentinian. And it has been reported that players have been used as part of the bargaining chip to get the deal done. Hakim Ziyech has been offered as a permanent swap deal, with January arrivals David Datro Fofana and Andre Santos joining Benfica on loan as part of the deal too. Benfica though grew unhappy with Chelsea's attempts to spread the cost of the deal, instead wanting to receive it all at once, thus resulting in the Blues moving on to other transfer targets, leaving Fernandez, who had pushed for a move away, looking likely to remain in Portugal. Schmidt claim. Benfica manager Roger Schmidt has once again been discussing the future of Fernandez after talks collapsed over his proposed move to Chelsea, admitting he believes the deal is closed. "I already said that this question is closed. He's Enzo Fernandez, one of our players. He's happy, training well, and he's part of the team. Everything has been said," Roger Schmidt responds. Ahead of Benfica's 1-0 win over Portimonense, Benfica head coach Roger Schmidt was bullish when asked about his star player. Firing back at Chelsea's approach, he said, "We do not want to sell Enzo. Not me, not the president, nobody. We know, everyone knows he has a clause in the contract, and if the player wants to leave and someone comes and pays the clause, of course we cannot work against that. Then maybe we will lose the player. There is a club who want our player. They know we don't want to sell the player. They tried to get the player on their side and they know they can only get this player when they pay the clause. It is a very clear situation. What the club is doing is disrespectful against all of us, against Benfica, and I cannot accept what they are doing. So to make the player crazy, and then to pretend they can pay the clause and then later they want to negotiate, it is not what I understand to be a good relationship between clubs who want to discuss players. Talks collapse as Benfica insist on £105 million release clause. The 21-year-old was a standout performer at the World Cup, winning the tournament's Young Player Award after Lionel Messi and his teammates beat France to become world champions. The latest reports suggest that Fernandes's dream move to the Premier League has collapsed, with Benfica insisting that Chelsea must pay his release clause or there will be no deal. According to Fabrizio Romano, the Blues have not scheduled a new meeting with the Lisbon-based side after talks over a deal structured with 3 installment payments collapsed. Chelsea is said to have officially bid £75 million for the 21-year-old, a fee that falls well below Fernandes's release clause. Pay structure revealed with a deal at advanced stage. Chelsea and Benfica agreed on the exact structure of the transfer of Enzo Fernandez on Monday, as first revealed by Felix Johnston. The Portuguese club could receive up to €130 million £114 million for their midfield star, with €120 million £105.9 million arriving across 3 equal installments, with the remaining €10 million £8.8 million available as performance-related add-ons. Gianluca Di Marzio supported this claim, revealing the deal is at an advanced stage and the final details are the only thing left to be sorted. Chelsea signal intent. It is reported in Portugal and via several UK journalists that Chelsea has stepped up their interest in Fernandes ahead of the January window. Simon Phillips writes, Chelsea have started the groundwork to sign Enzo Fernandez. We've spoken to his agent regarding a move and registered our official interest. O Jogo writes that Rui Costa, Benfica club president, and Rui Pedro Braz, sporting director, have begun looking for a replacement for the player, lining up Carlos Alvarez from Racing. It is also written in CMTV that Chelsea representatives have recently travelled to Lisbon to negotiate a deal and to formalise their interests. Liverpool interest. Liverpool is one of several clubs interested in signing the midfielder, and according to Diario Record, one club has made a €100 million £87.9 million bid for him. The report states that it was rejected, with the Portuguese side holding out for €120 million £105.5 million, but Liverpool is said to have not been the team making the move. Manchester United, Real Madrid and Manchester City are also said to be in the mix to sign the former River Plate star. Release clause. According to Portuguese outlet Record, the youngster has a €120 million £106.2 million release clause, having only joined from River Plate in the summer and will only leave Benfica in January should a club meet that figure. Fernandes only joined Benfica over the summer, moving from their home country Argentina for just £10 million. No matter when or where he goes next, the Portuguese side is likely to make a massive return on their investment. Understandably, they are keen on keeping him until the end of the season rather than selling him midway through a campaign. So, what do you think about Enzo's deal? Leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more Chelsea news and updates. Chelsea is our name. Chelsea, the Blues.